what are you doing, step bro? I'm just kidding. It's us. You have no idea how many times I like made that joke watching every single episode of this show. We're back. It's the Q for You podcast. We're here with another episode. I'm Mia, and today I am joined by my two buddies here, my co-hosts, Dani and Chantal. So say hello.
Hey.
Hello.
We're back. It's been a while.
It's been a year.
Been a good
It's been a good while.
Basically been a year, pretty much. Life gets in the way, but we always wanted to get back into this.
Yeah, just life got in the way, and we're just like everyone was busy, and life situations.
Medical issue.
That too.
Yeah, and just the whole world kind of like shut down a little bit. Is still shut down, kind of. But I mean, yeah, we're on hiatus for a time because of life, and we're back into it with a doozy of a show. If you could tell by the joke I made at the beginning, we're talking about brothers' conflict. It's that show where the main character's stepbrothers are all basically in love with her. So this is a whole category into itself on those websites, you know what I mean. And if you don't get the "what are you doing, stepbro" meme, just look it up. Go to Know Your Meme. It explains what it means, what it's from. But I just think it's hilarious. So that's for that. That's why I keep making that joke. I mean, that's basically the show, right?
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So to get into
that's it. That's the whole show.
Yeah, that's the whole show. It's basically one of those videos without the sexual part, the sexual content, without the adult video part. So it's a brothers conflict. People also call it BroCon, which sounds weird
it's
to
like
me.
It's like the shortened title for it. I'm like, I guess, but it's weird.
It's I get it, whatever. All these series always have like shortened titles, but like it's called BroCon. It just sounds like a convention of like bros. I don't know. So it has 2 PSP games. It has a manga series and an anime, which is what we're going to talk about today. It's 12 episodes, and it aired in Japan between July and September of 2013. And then Funimation, which, oh, by the way, R.I.P. Funimation, because now they're just part of Crunchyroll. But now you can watch
the merger
this.
finally went through.
Now you can watch this on Crunchyroll, subbed and dubbed. But Funimation did the streaming and dubbing rights. So there is an English dub, which came out in like 2016. So I guess we'll just go over I'm gonna read what the plot says on like Wikipedia, because it's really short. It's a short little paragraph. So this is the plot according to Wikipedia of Brothers Conflict. Emma Hinata, or later known as Emma Asahina, is the daughter of the famous expat Rintaro Hinata. One day, Emma finds out that her dad is going to remarry a successful clothing maker named Miwa Asahina. Rather than bothering them, she decides to move into the Sunrise Residence complex that is owned by Miwa. From there, she discovers that she has 13 stepbrothers. As time moves on, her stepbrothers develop feelings for her and compete in ways to win her heart when all Emma wants is to have a loving family. Can she make all of her 13 stepbrothers happy, or will she only pick one of them? Emma has a pet that helps her when times are tough and only her and her new brother can understand. She is faced with many challenges, like finding out she is adopted and having to apply for college. And that's where it ends. So, yeah, I guess that's the plot. It's basically I feel like my version of the explanation of the plot would probably more be like, so it's about this really boring girl who becomes who gains 13 stepbrothers in like a night. Even though actually in the anime at least, when she started living with them, they were not step siblings yet.
Yeah, they were not married.
The parents hadn't
The
gotten
parents
married
had
yet.
not gotten married. They were on the
So-
verge of getting married.
So that also makes it even creepier because like she's not their stepsister yet. So like they start flirting with her and stuff, and then the parents get married, and then they still keep flirting with her and kissing her and stuff. So yeah, even when I think about it, like 2013 was so much different than like now. Like 2013, you could kind of, I guess you could get away with this kind of stuff, like, ooh, it's all taboo and whatever. But like then when I think about it, I'm like, that's really gross. That's bad.
How many people were like, when I first watched it, I didn't pay attention or whatever, and I'm like, girl, same. Like was it 2013? The first time I watched it,
Yeah.
I was like, I couldn't say that I wasn't. Yeah, I was in my teens. I guess I wasn't paying attention to the plot. I guess I was just like watching it to watch it.
2013, this came out. Like we would have already graduated high school, so we were what, like
Yeah.
18, 19, probably when this
Yeah.
came out. But still, I would still think that's weird. And then like some of them, they're like in their 20s, like late 20s, and they want to kiss a 16-year-old. That's so gross.
Lots of red flags.
Dude, you're telling me, man.
This
Oh my
whole
god,
family- This whole family's a red flag. She should have told this lady at her wedding, like, can you tell your horny sons to stop hitting on me, please?
for real, dude.
Like,
oh my god.
why had you raise them all to be this way? Okay, so we're gonna go through all the characters, and I guess we'll just give our comments on the characters. Like, just, I guess, like, I'll read like the characters' names and like who voices them in English and Japanese and stuff. And then you can give your commentary, just like a little comment, I guess. Because then we can actually get into the roasting after we kind of go over the characters. Okay, so there's a lot of characters, so I'm gonna try to be brief. Some of these have long descriptions, but I'm just gonna like basically, I'll read what Emma's is, even though they never say her name. Actually, in the anime, they just refer to her by like her pronouns, like just she and her. Even though like she has a name. It's not like Mr. Love, where the fucking character doesn't have a name.
Yeah, this character has a
officially.
name in the game. In the animation doesn't even, like, no one says her name. I think her dad does.
Does he? I don't remember.
At the last episode, like when she finds out, that she's adopted, he's like talking about. Oh wait, no, he uses.
I think he uses
No, he
like
uses-
he uses like a pet name for her or something.
Yeah, he uses a pet name. Never mind, he doesn't like call her by her full name.
Yeah, she just like, it's super weird. Anyway, okay, so we got the main character, Emma Hinata. In Japanese, she's voiced by Rina Sato, and in English, she's Colleen Clickenbeard, who is also the ADR director of the dub. I will give the dub credit though. There's some hilarious ass like lines, because I think Jimmy Markey is one of the writers. So like, I mean, I feel like when they wrote this dub, they're kind of like, oh, so it's that kind of thing. All right, let's just go like balls to the wall.
Right, let's just
like,
go ham on it.
Like stupid and like kind of horny for a second, because why not? So yeah, so yeah, those are like two of the people who worked on the dub. So she's 17. Okay, she's 17. Still.
I mean, still, that's creepy.
It's still creepy. I don't care what the age of consent is in Japan. It's still creepy. She's 17. She's in high school. Why the fuck would a 24-year-old want to be going out with a 17-year-old if they don't have a weird, if they're not into some weird shit? So she's a senior. She moves in with the stepbrothers, even though they're not her stepbrothers yet. It says she is very good at cooking. Yeah, okay. So she was always like left to take care of herself, which I'm like, then why did this guy adopt her in the first place if he wasn't even gonna like be around to take care of her? So her dad is like is an adventurer, whatever. He's like always gone. She has a talking pet squirrel named Julie. The squirrel is either really annoying or like actually does some funny shit and says funny stuff. I don't really like the squirrel.
I don't either. That shit was annoying. Like half the shit he did in the anime, I'm just like, dude, shut up, please. Just like stop talking. She's not listening to you. Just tell her straight out. Like I don't like this. That's what I don't get. Right? This girl who's like supposedly been with her entire life. You know how stupid she is. Why don't you just tell her? Like, don't give little fucking innuendos and just tell her straight to her face. Hey, your brothers are trying to get into your pants. You may want to lock your door and shit. No, he doesn't tell her that. He just tells her in like roundabout ways.
Right? Like, why don't you call the police? I mean, I guess he can't do anything because he's a fucking squirrel. He calls her Chi. That's her like nickname. That's his nickname for her. I don't know why that's her nickname. He just calls her Chi for some reason. I don't know. She's really boring. I mean, wait, no, she's not boring. I'm sorry, guys. She has a personality trait. Remember? She's a gamer girl. She's not like the other girls. She plays video games. So that's her personality. One personality trait.
Her one personality
She's
trait.
She's a gamer girl, so it works. It's okay. She's not normal, guys. She plays video games. Yeah, no, that's like the only like personality thing that she does is she likes video games. She likes some boring ass video games though. Like the game that like she gets to demo play.
Zombie
it's
one?
Like a zombie game with like tanks. I'm like, who the fuck wants to play that? Like, at least if it was like a Call of Duty kind of game, like I would at least want to play that. Like, at least I'm killing zombies, but like, I don't know, the way that they like described it was
the way they described the game she's demoing sounds like really weird.
Like, this is really boring. Did you? Okay, so I watched it in English. I
did too.
Did you watch it in Japanese, Chantal?
I watched it in Japanese.
Okay. Cool. So we can. I don't know. What did the subtitles say that the game is like?
Honestly, I don't remember.
Okay. Cool. Then
just for the record, watching this anime kills your brain cells. I'm just saying.
It really does.
It really does. Like, so I guess in either language, you're going to feel like you just went through a whole ass lobotomy. But that's okay. And you know what? If you like this show, that's all well and good. There are some things that I enjoyed. Like, I don't think it looks bad. Like, nothing looks terrible. Well, okay, I take that back. Certain characters, like, I don't like their character design. But for the most part, and I will give it this show has good openings and good endings. Like, the music is good. I like the songs. It makes me sad that it's that it's a part of this dumb premise. Like, I like the opening and I like the ending. They deserve a better show. I don't know if you guys feel the same way.
No, the music was good. I agree on that. The music for the opening and the ending was pretty good, but like, I wish that it wasn't like when you like hear this song for especially the ending. It's like, bro, please stop.
I think I like the ending song unironically.
Like if you look at the lyrics, like I was looking at the lyrics the whole time, and I was like, no.
I would always sing with the my shista. So let's move on to the brothers, and we'll make our comments on each of them. So we got the oldest brother, who is Masaomi Asahina, the most boring ass looking one of them.
For real, because his character, compared to the rest of his siblings, he looks so ordinary. He really does. He has like the standard. I think he's a brunette, right?
Yeah, he's a brunette. He's like the dad of the brothers. He's like the dad.
He's the character. Doctor, right?
Yeah, he's the doctor.
He's a pediatrician. He's also he's the oldest. He's 31 years old, so he's old. I can say that because we're not in our 30s yet, so he's old. So in Japanese, he's voiced by Kazuyuki Okitsu and J. Michael Tatum in English. What a waste of J. Michael Tatum, man. He like does nothing in this fucking show.
He doesn't. Like I'm telling you, like some of the older siblings we don't see. Like we see them, but it's very spaced out. And especially like the eldest sibling, like we only see him like a few seconds out of like 2 episodes out of the 12, like 2 to 3 episodes he'll be there.
Yeah.
But he doesn't get a lot of screen time.
Yeah, he's pretty boring. He always has to look after like the youngest brother, Wataru. So he's like the dad of the group. Cuz he has to look after everybody, and now he has to look after Emma, the main character. And actually, apparently, so I was reading the wiki, like the actual wiki, and apparently, according to the wiki, I think in one of the games, I think the mom says that like out of all of the brothers who she would want Emma to be like the wife of, it's the doctor.
I think she said it in the second game.
Yeah, so like, ew.
Which is weird. There's a scene. Yeah, there's a scene in the game where, and look this up. You guys can literally see this on YouTube for people who've played the game.
Yeah, so yeah, on the wiki it says in the game only, like they get married and they have she's pregnant at the end or something. Gross. Ew. Why did she pick the doctor? Is it because he's a doctor? Like, is that why the stepmom is like, yeah, if you marry one of them, you can just marry him. He's a doctor.
Because I feel like especially with Asian culture, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like the doctor, the lawyer. You always hear that in anime.
Yeah.
That, and then since he's like the father.
Yeah, I guess. It's still creepy.
It's weird.
It's so weird. It's so weird. Anyway, okay, so that's the oldest. He's really boring. We don't really see him a lot. But he also has feelings for Emma for some reason, even though she's like 16, 17. Like, why he would even fathom to like give her the time of day in that fashion, I don't know. That's just how they wrote it. So, moving on to the second oldest brother, Ukyo Asahina. So he's 29 still. Gross. Is a man almost in his 30s who wants to be with a 17-year-old. He's a lawyer, and he is the mom of the family, aside from the mother, because the mother is never there either. So he's like the
mom's
figure.
Never there.
He's the mother figure, so he does a lot of the cooking, the cleaning. He knows like everybody's schedule, and yeah, he's the one that always says like that, like disapproves of like everything that they do.
He's
like,
that judgy mother-in-law.
Yeah, if they're doing something that he doesn't think is like appropriate, he just tells them like.
He'll tell him straight to his face like,
yeah.
What are you doing acting like that? Come on now. He's that person.
So in Japanese, he's voiced by Daisuke Hirakawa, and in English, it's Chris Sabat.
Of course.
Yeah. I feel like you're gonna recognize basically all the names in both Japanese and English, because I feel like literally at the time they just literally got everybody at Funimation. Like, can you be in this show? Okay, cool. Yeah, all right, awesome. You're gonna be this. It's like they just got the whole fucking roster of people to be in this show.
Pretty much, you'll like.
Yeah. It's
everybody. Like, I recognized all the voices, and I was like, what?
Yeah, he's also like kind of boring. Like there's an episode where like everybody starts kind of like calling Emma for help or telling her like, oh, I'm not gonna be home, like you don't have to make
dinner. Yeah, he's like he's making the comment where he's like, usually they call me, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, he gets like jealous. But then we got the Valentine's Day episode where this motherfucker his fantasy is like, oh yeah, I made some brandy truffle chocolate. And then we'll talk about the OVAs in a little while. But I think the OVAs, I will say this right now, I think the OVAs are like the best episodes. Because they're just so silly and dumb. And not in like a like here I don't really take in the OVAs I don't really take seriously. So I don't mind as much the like concept that they're step siblings. Because it's just like a dumb thing, you know? But like the actual like episodes, I'm like, why? So next we got the third brother, Kaname Asahina. He's 27. I think he's the most attractive one out of like all of them. Like he looks like if he was if this character was in another show, I would probably
he'd probably have more attention.
Yeah, I'd probably like that character a lot. Because, you know, yeah. I think he has a good character design. So he's a Buddhist monk, but he's like really flirtatious, and He's just like super carefree. He doesn't really like give a shit really about what he does, and he's the first one to like kiss her. It's not on the lips, but just like kiss her in general.
Yeah, he's the first one to actually like. He's not. I mean, technically you would call it making a move, but it's more like you can't take what he says. Like he's like half serious and half joking.
Yeah, sometimes you can't tell if he actually means that he's attracted to her or if he's just like being very playful.
Yeah, like you honestly can't. You can't tell.
But yeah, he's like the least. I would say he's one of the least problematic out of all of them. Like,
which is saying a lot.
Yeah, because like he, he's really flirtatious and stuff, but he doesn't force himself onto her like some of the other ones do, which we'll get to in a little bit.
Yeah, and even at the end, he respects her wishes just to be a family.
Yeah, like he actually understands that, like, she's not attracted to any of them, in terms of the anime. That he's kind of like, okay, I respect where you're coming from. In Japanese, he's voiced by my man Junichi Suwabe, and in English, he's also voiced by Ian Sinclair. So I think Ian Sinclair has done a few other Junichi Suwabe characters too.
He has.
I like both. Obviously, I think he sounds good in both. But yeah, I like this character. I actually do like this character. Like if there was a spin-off, because I like his monk friends. Those guys were. I'm like, why can't she should just go out with those guys instead? It kind of reminded me of like a shmentai kind of thing where I'm like, ooh, she's getting hit on by like, I won't say the actual word. Like one of those kind of scenarios where it's like, ooh, she's getting hit on by like 3 monks and like, ooh, it's kind of taboo. Like I actually enjoyed that part, but then nothing happened.
They were an interesting trio to meet.
Yeah, then nothing
because 2
happened.
other friends and then him.
Yeah, and then nothing happens, and then I remembered, oh wait, she's 17. Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't mind this character. I think he's one of the best designed characters too. Like, cause he doesn't his design doesn't look stupid like some of them do.
Like his kind of makes sense. Like he's obviously in like semi-traditional clothing for a monk.
Mm-hmm.
So he wears that.
And he has
the majority of the time,
luscious blonde hair. I like his hair. That we have a question about the hair, which we'll talk about towards the end. So just keep in mind whose hair you don't like and whose hair you do like. And you can leave those in the comments too if you want. Okay, so the 4th brother is Hikaru Asahina, and he's 26. He's a novelist, and he cross-dresses. Because, of course, we need one of them to wear
one of them has
clothes.
to do something.
One of them has to wear women's clothes or like wearing women's clothes or something like that. Or just be like super feminine. But he's kind of like, he's a cheeky fucker. I think he's one of the only ones that doesn't have feelings for her because he rather likes watching the
chaos.
Yeah, he's one of those, I'm going to sit back and let you guys do whatever and be stupid, and I'm just gonna laugh at you the whole. He's that person.
Yeah, so he makes this chart, an odds chart, and he calls it the brothers' conflict. So he's trying to keep track of which brother seems most likely to win Emma. Which why you would add like the 10-year-old on there, I don't know, but so yeah, he travels too, so he like doesn't really. Yeah,
him and the eldest we really don't see much of, especially Hikaru, because he travels the most, so we don't see him. Like we hardly see him in any episode. Like he's mentioned sometimes, but that's one of the brothers we hardly see.
Yeah. And in Japanese, he's voiced by Nobuhiko Okamoto, and he's voiced by Todd Haberkorn in English. So the second character named Hikaru, Todd Haberkorn is voiced. Weird. Yeah, this character, he's kind of boring. Like, because he only shows up when it's convenient.
Yeah.
To, like,
he's
tease
just
everybody.
there to mess around with everybody. And...
Yeah, he's literally there to, like, make little side comments, and he... likes to see what his brothers will react to. So he's one of those, let me stir the pot a little bit just for fun. But he's not really, like, how do I put this? He's not really like an active participant. He's just like, I'm just here.
Like, I think I paused it to see what the hell the chart tries to say, and I could not make heads or tails of what the hell the chart means.
So the chart, it kind of explains it a little bit, but when you look at it, it's kind of like, so it's like points, like who has the most of this, so it's kind of like in an RPG, right? Where you have, what's your stats on what's your charisma like, what's this, but he does it differently. So it's like, what he says to her at the end of the episode is, end of the season, when he's explaining the chart, he's like, this is 10, or he explains it to Wataru too, where he's like, it's an odds chart on who has the better odds of winning. And he breaks it down into like categories, but I couldn't catch what the categories were.
Yeah, I couldn't tell what the hell it was. Yeah. He's not that problematic. Like in terms of like the whole cross-dressing thing, like they're respectful of that, at least. Like they don't.
Yeah, there's not like any like underhanded jokes like some anime do to the characters that cross-dress. Like his brothers are very accepting. They're just like, oh,
yeah,
you're dressed up, cool, whatever.
Yeah. I just think it's hilarious that like when he's like dressed, when he's not dressed in women's clothes, like she can't. The first time she sees him not in women's clothes, she couldn't tell that it was him. Like who the hell else has that long ass hair? But
maybe it's because like to her it's like a dramatic change.
I guess, or she's just stupid.
She's stupid.
I mean,
she's stupid. I'm sorry.
She's pretty stupid.
I mean,
she's pretty dumb. Keeping the tradition of lots of MCs that are stupid because they're because a lot of them are, you know, they want to make it like a self-insert kind of because it's based off of a game. All right, so now we're gonna move on to the triplets because there are triplets in this because of course we had to make some of them. One of them has to cross-dress. Some of them have to be like a part of a set of multiples born at the same time. I guess we
always either get twins in anime or like siblings, and other times we'll get like the random triplet.
Yeah.
set. So yeah, this anime included the triplets.
Okay, so first triplet we'll talk about is Tsubaki Asahina, the real handsy one. So he's the fifth of the family, and he's the oldest of the triplets. The triplets are 24. He's a voice actor, and so is one of the others. He kisses her on the mouth multiple times, and forces himself onto her, and I do not like this character. He's kind of annoying. I'm like, please go away. He just kind of like inserts himself into everything that's going on a lot of the time, and yeah, I don't like that. And in Japanese, he's voiced by Kenichi Suzumura, and you know, we all know there's some Utapri voice actors in here, so of course I'm gonna mention that. So he's voiced by Kenichi Suzumura, who's Masato in Utapri, and in English he's voiced by Micah Solisad. I don't mind Micah Solisad's voice or anything like that, but damn, he makes this dude like so hateable. Like I cannot stand.
Right, I'm cool with the voice actor because I like his work. Just this character, I didn't care for Tsubaki at all.
He's a creep. I mean, there's another character who's an even bigger creep.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, no, he's yeah. I don't know. He also is one of the ones that like basically that also tells her like, oh, I don't love you like a brother. I love you like a man. I want to like
a man.
I want
to first out of the brothers to confess to her.
He wants to get in her pants. Gross. He's the guy that you warn everybody about. He's a little handsy.
It's just so funny how all the triplets are like, I want to love you like a man. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, I know they all say that in like various degrees.
They all shared this woman's womb at the same time, so I don't know, maybe the womb juice in there, I don't know, was tainted or some shit.
They did say they had one soul or something like that.
Oh yeah, they talk about that a lot in here, like that They share one soul. Like they say that people born at the same time share the same soul. And I'm like, well, that's really gross. That means you're all creeps.
Right, you're all creepers.
But out of the triplets, Tsubaki is the creepiest.
He's the more forward of the guys. I mean, he's not as bad as one of the other brothers, but like still, it's kind of one of those things. Like, come on, man. Like, you need to back the hell off.
Yeah, and she doesn't do anything. She just lays there.
I can't fucking stand her. I can't.
She just lays there while he's on top of her, like, trying to kiss her and shit. And she doesn't even push him. I think she kind of pushes, like, one of them off, but I can't remember who it is, and I really don't.
No, it was
the other one.
Oh, okay, whatever. She does it, like, once to somebody, and I'm like, girl, you need to do that every time. Because she clearly doesn't, like...
Yeah, she's clearly uncomfortable, and Tsubaki doesn't care.
She clearly doesn't want any of them to, like, do this to her, but she never says anything. She's like, I don't know if I can be honest with them. And I'm like, bitch, be honest with them. You live with these motherfuckers. Like, dude, if I was the only girl in a house full of guys, I would definitely be, like, laying down the rules. I'd be locking my door so nobody could come in. But moving on. So next of the triplets, we have Azusa Asahina. He's the second oldest triplet, and he is also a voice actor. He wears glasses, so he's one of the other ones that wears glasses. And him and Tsubaki are actually identical twins, technically, because they came from the same egg, and then their other brother is a separate egg. He's the fraternal one. Which, can that happen? I can't remember. I think it can, right? I don't know anything about, like, multiples. So, Dani's the resident twin. So, she's the expert.
Surprisingly, especially with triplets, you'd be surprised. Yeah, so it can happen. So, me and my brother are fraternal twins. We look alike and at all. And, like, no, it's not because he's a boy and I'm a girl.
No, you were two separate eggs, right?
Yeah, we were two separate eggs.
But identical twins, they split from one egg, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I do get genetics a little bit. I mean, he also confesses to her, but, he doesn't, like, do anything weird. Like, he's one of the ones that doesn't do anything, like, he doesn't, like, force himself onto her. Also, he has meningitis. Which I'm like, how did you not die?
So for those people who don't know what that is, it's basically a disease that it's basically the swelling of your brain, where it can pretty much just cut you off entirely. Like, it's basically like having an aneurysm, but your brain is the cause of it instead of the blood vessel bursting.
Yeah, that's why you get a meningitis shot and stuff. But yeah, I'm like, how did he not die? And how were they not, like, more like, what the hell? But yeah, whatever. So yeah, he goes to the hospital and there's drama with that. Ooh, ow. So in Japanese, he's voiced by Kosuke Toriumi, who's also in Uchino Prince Sama. He plays Cecil. And in English, it's Josh Greeley. And I think Josh Greeley does a pretty good job. I kind of forget that's Josh Greeley, because they have a distinct voice for certain characters.
Yeah, so when he's playing Azusa, it's different.
I think Josh Greeley goes by they them pronouns. I think they're non-binary. But yeah, like, sometimes I couldn't tell, and then sometimes I could hear it in Azusa's voice. But yeah. So yeah, Azusa, like, this character, he's not that bad out of all of them. Like, he's pretty...
Yeah, compared to the other brothers, he's not as, like, forceful. So he's pretty chill most of the time.
But him and Tsubaki are really close, obviously, because they're identical twins. Even though, like, they don't make them look identical. Because they want everyone to look different.
Because anime rules, that's why.
So he wears... Unless it's convenient to the plot, then they would look identical.
No, I think they did draw them alike. The only difference is that Tsubaki dyed his hair and he styled it. Because all all three of the
Mhm.
triplets had their hair the same color. Like Azusa's main hair color is their original color. The other two dyed their hair.
But all of them have a beauty mark on their face. So, Tsubaki and Azusa have one under their eyes, but it's like the opposite eye. And then, Natsume, who's the next brother, he has it like on his chin, which I'm like, that's very unfortunate. That's where your beauty mark is.
You have all the random places to put it. Like, why'd you put it there?
Yeah, because I'm like, you know, when it's under someone's eye, like, I feel like that's when a lot of people are like, ooh, that looks really good. And then they put it on his fucking chin. But I guess it's to mark them. Oh, yeah, they're triplets, remember. So speaking of Natsume, so that's the next brother. He's the 7th son, and he's the youngest triplet. And he's the fraternal one, and he works at the video game company that makes Emma's favorite games. Which I'm like, bruh, how did you guys make this game and make it sound really boring? And he does not live in the same apartment complex that they all live in. He lives away from the family.
Yeah, he's one of the few brothers that actually live away from the apartment complex that they all live in.
Yeah, which I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. I mean, I kind of like that. I like that they all live in this big apartment building and that they just share everything. Like, I think that's pretty cool. Like, and I feel like it makes it less awkward because it's like, oh, I'm sharing it like with my siblings. It's not like I'm sharing it with random people.
Yeah, like to like clarify, the apartment building itself, I think like the family owns
their mom
owns that building,
so they live there.
And each floor belongs to a sibling.
Yeah, they each have like their own little apartment, and then they go to like a certain floor, and that's where like the bathroom is and the
yeah, and then another floor has like the dining room where they can all go and
they
eat.
have, like the kitchen and stuff. And then he has 2 cats that he named after his brothers, which is the dumbest thing. Why would I name my pet after my brother? That's confusing. Like, it sounds cute on paper, like, oh, that would be cute if that's funny, that's a funny joke. Like, he named his cats after his brothers, but like, if you did that in real life, that would just be like really weird. What if they come over? Then who do you know? How do they know that you're talking to them and not the cats?
Right? And then you're like, your brothers are looking at you, and then, you know, the cats are like looking at you, and then you're just really confused at that point.
Yeah.
But we don't see a lot of him, mainly because, again, he's one of the ones that live away. Same thing with Hikaru and what was it? One of the Louis doesn't live there either, so we hardly see them.
So yeah, and also Natsume is also one of the ones that kisses her. He actually kisses her in his apartment, which I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, he's one of the he does that in the apartment. I think he does it like twice.
Yeah, and she stays
during her crisis. Yeah, she stays over at his apartment. Nothing happens. Like, he doesn't really like. He respects that she doesn't want anything, which again, surprisingly, because the other brothers don't give a shit.
He's all right. He's okay.
Yeah, he's not one of the worst.
Like,
but...
he's not one of the worst ones. But yeah. And then his voice actors in Japanese, he's voiced by Tomoaki Maeno, so another Utsupri Seiyu. It's Kamyu from Utsupri. And then in English, it's Kyle Hebert, and I like Kyle Hebert too. Okay, so moving on to the next brother, we've got Louis Asahina. He's the 8th son, and he's 22, and he is a hairdresser, and he is also adopted. So he's the only one that did not come out of this woman's...
Which would explain why he's so fucking normal.
Yeah, which is why he's like...
He doesn't make any like advances to her. He's like, oh, I have a sister. This is cool. I've always wanted to like chill with a sibling and this, that, and the other. Like, he's one of those people where he's like, the first thing he does is like give her a makeover because he's like so excited to have a sister. He doesn't do anything creepy to her, like trying to force her to kiss him or anything like the other brothers do.
The only one.
Yeah, he's pretty much the only one that's like super chill. Like, he's like just normal, like acting like an actual brother.
Yeah, maybe it's because he doesn't share any genes with the others. Maybe because I feel like their genetics are like fucked up.
The only one that's not horny on main.
Yeah, basically. He can also understand the squirrel. So are they implying that only people who are adopted can understand squirrels?
I guess. Like, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it is
You know,
kind of
they
weird.
never explain it either, like how she can fucking understand this damn squirrel.
Maybe it's because she's known him for a long time, or maybe it's because she's adopted. It's just maybe that happens once you become an adopted kid. You just it just something in the air. It just makes you able to understand squirrels.
Understand animals.
Yeah, specifically squirrels that don't look like squirrels.
He doesn't look like a squirrel.
No, he doesn't. He's cute. Like, he just looks like a Pokemon.
Yeah, that's true.
He just looks like a Pokemon. But yeah, in Japanese, he's voiced by Ken Takuchi, and in English, he's voiced by Jerry Jewell. And for some fucking reason, Jerry Jewell gives him, like, a weird, like, surfer,
Oh god.
like, yeah, he sounds high all the time.
I was the same thing. He
Sounds like
sounds
a
like he's
hippie.
like super. Yeah, there we
He's
go.
like a
He sounds like a
hippie.
hippie.
He sounds like a hippie.
He's like super mellow in his voice and
Yeah.
stuff, which is so funny
He's
compared to
always
other
like-
characters'
yeah,
voices.
Like, yeah, it's it's a very interesting take. Like, I wonder if that was his idea or if they told him like, oh, it'd be kind of funny if you gave him like a hippie, because like he kind of talks.
It had
like
to have been
this.
someone's idea.
He
I feel like it probably would have been his idea.
Because he kind of talks like this, like he's kind
He's like,
of
oh.
high all the time.
He's like, oh, hey, what's up?
He
He's
talks
like
very
that.
slowly.
He sounds like.
He talks very slowly. Does he talk? Does he sound like that in Japanese?
Nah, he sounds really
He
normal.
just sounds normal. What the fuck?
normal.
Like, I'm surprised he doesn't have like a pocket, like a stash of weed. Well, he can't. It's weed's like super illegal in Japan, but you know what I mean. Like, how is this man high all the time? Like, how is he not high 24/7? But yeah, I don't know why he sounds like that. But it makes it a little bit more interesting and tolerable to watch the show. Yeah, he has a weird hippie surfer kind of voice for some reason. Yeah, he's cool. Sometimes I think his hair I'm like, how can your hair do that? How does it stay that voluminous when you have like a side ponytail? But he's a hairdresser, so maybe
I was gonna say, yeah, he's a hairdresser, so he probably has like some way.
he has some fancy ass way to make it look cool or something. So moving on, we've got the next brother. This is the 9th son, Subaru Asahina. He's 20 years. Well, he turns 20 in the second episode. He's in college and he's super athletic and he plays basketball. And eventually, like, he gets to play professionally. And he is one of the brothers that like is extremely into Emma, to the point where he legit asks her out. And I feel kind of bad because I'm like, man, if this was in any other kind of show, I would think that was really cute. But then I remember that it's his fucking stepsister, and I feel gross because he's not a bad guy. He's very nice.
He's just nice and awkward.
Yeah, he's just really fucking awkward, dude. Which, you know, I mean, yeah, again, it's like it's a trope, right? It's a stereotype. We gotta have one who's kind of like awkward and strange, but he's like really good at like one thing, which is basketball. Him and Natsume have like
Some beef
like
going on.
some tension. Yeah, they got beef. Because Natsume used to be super athletic too, and then like he gave it up, and Subaru looked up to him, and so now he like.
Yeah, he
him.
didn't understand why he gave it up, and that's what got them. That's what they were actually really close as brothers because of Natsume's athleticism, and you know he could relate. That's the only sibling he can relate to. But then Natsume gave that up, and he's like, "Bro, what the hell?"
Yeah.
And thus they lost their common ground, and that's what.
Even though like
I kind of wish
Natsume-
they would have like, you know, explored more of that instead of just like, oh, we kind of just hate each other because.
Yeah, they
For
don't
reasons.
properly explain it. They're just like, "Oh, we used to be close, and now we're not." I'm like, okay, that explains nothing.
Well,
And
then-
now let's just focus on the kissing with the sisters.
Well, and then they like make her a part of like their beef, because like they both have feelings for her. So then, you know, it's kind of like, hey, don't steal my woman. And then it's kind of like, guys, both of you, like, she's your stepsister. Like, there's plenty of other girls around, I'm sure, that are closer in age to you and also are not related to you by marriage. That aren't supposed to be your sister. Also, she's boring. So why the hell? Why would you want to be with her? But yeah, so yeah, there's a part where Subaru punches Natsume in the face, and I wanted to watch them fight to the death because that would have been way more interesting.
I know, it was very anticlimactic for them. It's just like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
Like after that fight, it was just very anticlimactic.
Yeah, I mean, they only stopped fighting because Emma's like, please, don't fight over me. That was my impression of her.
Brothers.
I'll have to do my own impression of the stupid thing that she always says at the end of the beginning of every episode. I'll do my impression of that later.
How fucking oblivious she can be. I mean, I can't with that woman. And you're gonna. Oh
god. So in Japanese, he's voiced by Daisuke Ono, which is hilarious because Daisuke Ono is also in like he's in Usumino Prince Sama, and also he voices another character that plays fucking basketball in Kuroko no Basuke, because he's Midorima in Japanese. And then in English, it's our best boy. It's David Petranga. We stan.
Yes.
He has some really good parts in this dub, which again, it sucks that it's this stupid ass show, but again, they knew what they were doing with the dub script. They just, you know, again went all out, and you know, they made lines really funny. Like there are parts that I enjoyed and I laughed out loud because it was actually legit funny, and he gives some of those because he's awkward as fuck. He's just really good at like being an awkward character. He's got that kind of like he's got that like mumbly kind of voice down really well. So yeah, in episode 5 he asks her out. But then he decides like, no, I'm gonna let you wait. I'm gonna go away and play basketball professionally, and then you can come and see me, and maybe we can go out. And actually, in the novel, apparently there's like a light novel. He is her boyfriend in the novel, and then apparently they have a daughter together at the end of the novel, which is weird. But they're not blood related, so I guess it's not that bad. But
I mean,
anyway.
his interactions with her weren't that bad compared to others.
No, he does kiss her, I believe.
Yeah, he does.
He does kiss her,
but he also respects her choice of like, no, I want to be family, and he contemplates like basketball or her, and she's like, bruh, I'm not part of your decision.
She's like pick basketball.
Include me. Right? She's like, pick fucking basketball. Like,
pick
damn.
Basketball. So yeah. But I mean, they have an understanding, so he gets less awkward as the show goes on. But yeah. So that's that character. Next up, we have Iori Asahina. He's the 10th
and we don't
son.
see this bitch at all.
Oh no, we barely see this dude. He's 18. He goes to like a private school, and he's like really into flowers. So he like does all the gardening and shit. And it's not in the anime, but apparently in the games, he had like a girlfriend who he was like super into, and she died in a car accident like right in front of him.
Yeah.
And then he became suicidal and attempted to strangle Kaname for preventing him from doing that. And Emma
emotional damage.
Yeah, emotional damage for sure. And that is not in the anime. I feel like that's why he's barely in it. Like, he just shows up to make certain comments and be like, "Oh yeah, I like flowers. Here's a flower," and that's it.
I think it's mentioned in the game that the girlfriend that he had at the time, who like before she passed, like she was into like flowers and stuff.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But again, that's not explored in the anime.
Yeah.
So the brother himself, there's not much to say about him other than like, you know, he's there, he's chill, he's not problematic, he doesn't make advances to her in any way. Like, he's just there when they like eat food. Or like there's like a thing that the family's doing, he's just there.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
guess that's why they took away his plot.
Again,
Since he's
yeah.
not
That's why
kissing
they
his
took away his
sister.
plot.
That's
For
why.
real, he didn't really do anything.
Yeah, it's like that's why they they're like
It's
we
so
only have
funny to
12 we
think
only have
about.
12 episodes. We only have 12 episodes, so you know.
What do we cut out?
Yeah.
The plot.
Yeah, which explains why, like, what the first 3 elder siblings, no, the first 4, Iori and don't get technically like, oh, I've developed feelings for you
Mhm.
stages. So they're the brothers that, like, yeah, they get screen time and we see them from time to time, but they don't have like a very
Yeah, he's
overall presence.
I feel like Iori's more like a brotherly towards her cuz he like doesn't really have too much screen time. So like he gives her flowers and stuff, but he's never like
But it doesn't come off as creepy. It's kind of
Yeah.
like a sweet, like, it comes off as a sweet gesture, like, oh, hey, you're new in the house. Let me make you feel welcome.
Yeah.
Here's this flower. Oh, hey, you're my sister just because. I'm going to give you this flower.
Yeah.
It doesn't come off as creepy. It's just kind of like something, you know, like a parent or something would do for you. And like, they'll just give you like random things just because it comes off like that. So
Yeah, he's like and he doesn't, you know, he's and in terms of character design, like he has good character design. I like him. I don't have any problems with him. He's like the dollar store Yuki Soma, which is hilarious because in English he's voiced by Eric Vale.
I thought he
who's
looked
also
like
Yuki Soma.
who was it? The dude from A3 in the Winter Troop. The marshmallow boy.
the marshmallow.
I forgot his name.
I did too. I forgot his name, but I get what you're saying.
Oh my god, what is his fucking name?
Can't remember his name.
Hold on, now I have to look it up.
Mine went blank. It's been. See, this is what happens when you shut down A3.
Yeah.
I know,
okay,
right?
Hold on. Oh shit, they updated the fucking cast list for the dub for A3. Thank God. On Wikipedia. Okay, who is it? Who is it? Oh, Hisoka.
There we go.
Yeah, Hisoka. He's the
Yeah,
one.
there's not much to say on Iori though, because he's just.
Yeah. So in Japanese he's Daisuke Namikawa, and in English it's Eric Vale, and Eric Vale's just doing his Yuki voice, which is why I call him the dollar store Yuki Soma. Because Yuki's a much
that makes sense.
Yuki's a much better Prince character. But anyway. Okay, so next character, next brother we have is Yusuke Asahina. He's the 11th son, and he's 17, so he and Emma are in the same class at school.
Yeah, they go to the same school.
And he is the only one who basically he had a crush on her like
before this whole thing started. So he was
shit.
in her. Yeah, he knew her already because they were at school. And then he finds out later that, oh, this is gonna be my stepsister, and he's like, well, fuck.
Yeah. So
which I feel bad.
I felt bad for him. It's like you had the legitimate, like you had a okay reason for liking her because your reasons were different. You knew her outside of this situation compared to the others.
Yeah, this poor dude
didn't
like
just like her because it's my stepsister.
Yes.
Let me get in her pants.
Yeah, he's the only one who's yeah. Like you kind of feel like, oh man, like he liked her before she was his stepsister. Like before she even started living there. Like she was just a girl in his class that he just had a crush on. Like this poor guy, and like he was super confused. And at the beginning, he's like, I'm not accepting that she's my stepsister.
Yeah, it was
he's so
for him.
mad.
But again, it's like
he's the only one that I would let slide with this whole.
Yeah, that's the only only reason. Yeah,
me too. You know, yeah, and because and also, you know what? In any other fucking anime, he would be the main character.
Yeah,
because of how he looks with his stupid ass hair. I hate his hair so much. That's one of the hairstyles that I give an F plus. He like why?
It's the stupid pigtails.
It's the dumb braids that he has.
Dude,
I hate it.
Asked her, like she was like, it's the braids.
It's that, and then he looks like he came out of a shonen anime.
Yeah, he's he's kind of
he's the main protagonist.
He's kind of a delinquent type. He's kind of a delinquent looking guy. But he's actually a nice guy. Like, he cares
Yeah.
about her. Like, you know, he's like, oh, I want to go to the same college as her. So he, like, starts studying to, like, pass their, like, entrance exams and stuff.
Yeah, like his situation is a lot different, right? Like he had a crush on her before this, and even like during the whole situation, he doesn't make any like unwanted advances. He literally is struggling
He's very
to be like,
respectful. He's like super respectful of her feelings, but he's also struggling to like try to come to terms with his, because he's like, oh, it's like, oh, I've really liked her this whole time, but now she's my stepsister, and then also all my brothers are flirting with her, and like that's not what we should be doing, because she's our sister. Like,
yeah, he's in conflict with how he feels, because you know, again, he knew her before this, he had a crush on her. Then come to find out, oh, our parents are getting married. It's like it's a internal conflict for him.
Well,
like
it's not even like, it's like y'all didn't tell him what the fuck.
Yeah,
his
he didn't know.
Name was gonna be. Y'all didn't say what her name was, or like who she is, or
yeah, they just told him they're getting a sister. Yeah,
school.
And then he comes to find out it's her, and he's like, well, fuck. That's literally what happened. They don't tell him. They basically, what ends up happening, the siblings tell him, oh, hey, we're getting a new sister, we're getting a new sibling. You know, mom's remarrying or whatever. They don't tell him who it is. It's only literally the day she moves in. He's like, what the fuck are you doing here? And they're like, dude, didn't we tell you?
Stepsister. What?
We told you we're getting a sister. He's like, you didn't tell me who the fuck it was.
Yeah, this poor dude, man.
So he's got legit reasons, all right? His struggle's different.
I feel bad for him. Like, this poor guy, he just, like, he can't live his life because, like, he can't live his life and have a crush on some girl in his class because it's his fucking, turns out to be his stepsister. And
right, he got the worst luck of it.
And his older brothers are kind of jerks, and his brother that's, like, right under him is a fucking asshole. This poor dude, man.
Can't catch a break.
I know. And he has that terrible haircut. Like, this dude. So in Japanese, he's voiced by Yoshimasa Soya, and in English it's Matt Mercer. Which is funny because now Matthew Mercer is also playing another fucking character named Yusuke, because he plays Yusuke in Persona 5. I have so many fun facts this episode. I'm happy. So yeah, I mean, he, you know, design wise, it sucks. This poor dude. I feel so bad for this character. But
it doesn't help when like him and the girl keep getting like these little cute moments, and it's just like, oh man.
And then he's like mentally slapping himself too the entire time, going, "Dude, that's your stepsister. That's your stepsister. That's your stepsister."
Yeah.
Like he's literally one of the only ones that have feelings for her, but has common sense.
Yeah, he got maybe he's not good at a lot of school stuff, but in terms of common sense, out of all these guys, he got a lot of it.
Right, he's a solid 8 on common sense.
Maybe he got the common sense from their dad, who is like dead or some shit, I guess.
From their unnamed father.
Yeah, he's dead. Yeah, because after the baby child, the mom didn't have any more kids after that, unless right after that she started going through menopause.
Maybe.
But yeah. So we're almost done. Thank God, we're almost done with all these fucking characters. At least with all the brothers, because we also have the stupid fucking squirrel, and the parents. Okay, so next, we've got the 12th son, Futo Asahina. He's 15.
Worst boy.
Yeah, the worst fucking character. I hate this character so much. Goddamn.
Fuck that dude.
He's an idol, and
he's like some pop idol.
Yeah. I like how on Wikipedia says he has a devilish and cheeky personality and is very rude
he's
and bratty to his siblings. However, he can be very mature for his age. No, what?
No,
what
he cannot. What sugarcoating shit are you putting on here? No, this is a bullshit lie.
This is fucking Wikipedia. I don't know who wrote this. So basically, in the 6th episode, he starts going to the same high school as Emma and Yusuke. So basically, he can torment both of them.
Like, he's just
trying to live their lives.
Straight up dick, man.
Yeah, and he's a creep. He is the biggest creep out of all of them. You would think that like maybe some of the older ones would be like way creepier. No.
Right, that's the thing, right?
This dude's straight up like this man, like when this man is like 18, like once this man is an adult, like you need to call the police
You need to file charges. Like
Yeah.
he's like so aggressive in
File
his
a
like
restraining
pursuit
order.
of her. Like it
He
is
almost,
borderline
like-
fucking creepy. It is like borderline obsessive, and it's like really creepy.
He literally almost sexually assaulted her.
Yes,
In her
facts.
sleep. I was like, this is not a good look.
Yeah, dude, no, legit, that whole time I was like, I need an adult, and I am an adult. I need an adult here. Help me. Like,
I know,
why?
like watching the scenes with him,
why
I wanted
did
to
you-
punch him in the face. I'm
Why
like,
did you
no.
animate this? Why? Why did you write this in the script?
He always says, he's like, I don't care about her feelings. I'm gonna do whatever I do.
Yeah, he literally says
Oh,
that. He's like, I don't care how you feel.
no.
Yeah, he calls
and
he calls
I'm gonna
her
do what I want.
He calls her stupid, and then it's just like, dude, do you even like this girl? Like, he's one of those like tsundere kind of type characters, where he's like, oh, you're just you're just a dumb bitch, whatever. But
Yeah, but with other
secretly-
tsunderes, it's cute. This asshole
but
is just
secretly, he goes up to her while she's asleep and starts unbuttoning her fucking shirt, and is gonna, I don't know, do something, and then he chickens out.
that one needs a restraining order.
I hate this character. Also, I hate his face. I just hate this character design. He has stupid hair.
Yeah, his is like
and just
I don't like it.
Every time I see his fucking face, I want to scream.
Me too.
He has like a weird cat mouth. Like, why did they make him look like
Like it doesn't look cute. It looks just really weird.
No, it
It's
looks
like
really bad.
it's not cute. It's not cute at all. It's just like weird. It just it looks weird on his face.
Yeah. He's straight up creepo. Like, this dude, hide everyone. Hide your kids. Hide your wife. One
'Cause he
sec.
has no sense of boundaries, like at all. We have nothing good to say about him,
No,
like at all.
we do not. Which sucks, because in Japanese, he's voiced by Ken, and I like Ken. He has a great voice. But why the fuck did you cast him as this fucking character that no one can stand? He's such a creep. Which is ironic, and this is all I'm going to say about this, that it's ironic that he's voiced by Vic Mignogna in English. I will say nothing more, so don't come for me. That's all I will say about that. Yeah, this did not age well.
It did not.
It did not age well, and then, yeah, that specific scene, I was very uncomfortable.
Then we have the youngest
Moving on.
of Unlucky 13.
Moving on, we have the last brother, the 13th. He is 10 years old. And his name is Wataru Asahina. And he is... Okay, so what does the wiki say? He's in 5th grade. He is sweet and honest, but very spoiled by his overprotective brothers. He loves sweets and bunnies. And
I mean, he's fine. No judgment. Like, bless his VA, but no.
why the fuck did they put a 10-year-old child in this? And why did they make him say...
Anime.
Why did they make him have to tell her... I'm going to try to grow up and be a man that you would like, or some shit like that. I forgot what he says.
But
I'm like, dude, you're fucking 10. Why do you care about this shit?
Those things that you don't really like pay attention to. I mean, because she doesn't take it serious, and I didn't take it serious either. Because again, he's fucking 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
Like,
10-year-old.
Okay, he's just this 10-year-old little kid, but he refers to her as sister.
Yeah.
Like he honestly sees her as a sister. There's like nothing
yeah,
weird. And again, that comment that he makes to her at the end doesn't really. Again, you can just take it as a child. Like
I guess, but it's still weird.
it's a weird thing to say. But again, I'm letting it slide mainly for the fact that you hear younger kids in like anime and stuff,
Yeah,
right? Even in
it's
manga
like-
too, they
it's
say that
more-
stuff.
It's more innocent. Like, he's a little
Yeah, it's more of an
kid.
innocent thing. Yeah, it's not like something like, ew, dude.
He's a little
Get the hell
kid.
away.
He's a little kid,
Yeah.
but I still don't understand why this character is part of this, like, in the first place. Like, why did
Anime
you make,
roles.
Why did you make him? Why did you make the youngest 10? I guess because it's like, oh, we need like a little bro, like a little.
Yeah, you
younger
need the
brother
youngest
kind of
to-
thing. Yeah.
To even it out.
And in both English and Japanese, he's voiced by Eren Yeager. Because it's Yuki Kaji in Japanese and Bryce Papenbrook in English. He's just there. He's a kid.
Yeah, he's just a little kid. He's just there for like
He's there to say annoying little kid things.
any little kid will do. That's all he's there for.
And he calls her Big Sis in English. Which I'm like, never have I ever heard any kid ever refer to their older sibling as Big Bro or Big Sis, unironically. but I guess because he probably calls her what, One-chan in Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they need an equivalent. We'll just call her Big Sis. That's my impression of him in English. Okay, so we're done with the brothers. So now we have other characters. I'm not going to name all of them because some of them have like 2 seconds of screen time. So you have Julie. This is the fucking squirrel. And he is also in love with her, which is weird.
Which thankfully is not emphasized in the anime anyway. But kinda in that weird dream sequence, but
yeah,
nothing.
Him as a human also, I don't like his character design as a human. Like, why did you give him long hair?
He literally pulled a sexual.
Yeah, basically.
That's all I could think of. I mean, he's a cat in a Capri, and then he just turns into a freaking human, and then the freaking squirrel does the same thing.
Yeah, so in Japanese, it's Hiroshi Kamiya and Sunny Straight in English. And actually, you know, the squirrel has some funny lines here or there.
Oh yeah, like in the first fucking episode.
Yeah, he's like, "Who dat?"
And it literally says it in the subtitles. He was like, "Who dat?
Who dat?" It's just really cute. Like I actually laughed at that part. But other than that, he's just kind of like the voice of reason to her, even though she does not listen to him at all.
Like he's spitting out like fucking semi-facts over here. He's like, "Bruh, don't trust these bitches," and she's just like, yeah, okay." She's not even fucking paying attention to anything he's saying.
I mean, eventually she kind of like forgets about him because she forgets to bring him places. And he basically is kind of designated to hang out with Louis instead.
Yeah, pretty much.
And they form whatever the hell it's called, the Protect Chi conglomerate, or whatever the fuck they call it. I don't remember what it's called.
Protect Chi Squad. That's what we'll call it.
Shit, like,
yeah, that
it's
shit.
The Protect Chi Coalition or some shit.
Yeah, something like that. Something dumb like that. But yeah, he is there because we need a cute mascot for our series.
It's anime rules, that's why.
We need a cute mascot, and we made a squirrel. And then we have the parents, which I'll just go over briefly. So we have Rintaro Hinata, who's Emma's father, or he's her adoptive father. Because her, the only thing that I was kind of like, that's kind of fucked up that you guys would refer to it, like her real parents died. Like, I feel like they should have more said like her biological parents.
Yeah.
I feel like you have your biological, like if you're adopted, you have your biological parents, and then you have like the parents who raised you, who I guess you would just consider as your parents, your real parents, quote unquote.
What does he even do? I can't remember what he does.
He's an adventurer. He travels around the world. So like he's been on TV and stuff. According to the wiki, like the brothers have seen him, like they know him, they've seen him on TV and stuff. Even though like he ain't around, so this girl basically raised herself pretty much.
Yeah, the parents don't get a lot of comments from us because they hardly get any screen time.
Yeah.
Like at all.
Like,
like 5 seconds in that one episode?
Yeah, because like you get the episode where like they get married and stuff. That's pretty much the only time you see the parents. Is when they come back home to Japan to get married, and then they just fucking leave again.
Yeah, and then they take off, and it's like, bruh.
And then we have Miwa Asahina, that's the mother of the brothers, and she's Emma's stepmother, and she's like, I don't know, she's like a fashion designer or some shit. And apparently she works overseas. So she popped out the last one and was like, "Here, oldest son, raise the baby yourself. You raised all the other ones. They are there. They are the ones." Well, she gave birth to the boys, except for the adopted one, and the dad kind of sort of raised Emma, but not really because he was never around. So yeah, that's those are the characters. Well, at least the ones that like matter, I guess. So what do you guys think? Like, I've been wanting to roast this show for a really long time, just because I remember when I first saw it, and I was just like, I get the concept and everything. I mean, the original, visual novel series, or the original novel apparently came out, the run was 7 volumes from December 2010 to July 2012. The first game also came out in 2012. So, you know, it was a different time.
It was a different time where
But it's still
I don't know why they adapted it. I don't know why. Like, let's get real. The anime and just certain scenarios throughout that whole thing were just like, girl, move to another building, please. And the whole time I'm just like, no, man, no. Like, I don't know how she just didn't up and leave. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. If you feel that uncomfortable,
right?
just go. Like, why are you staying? Like, I get it. You're like, oh, I want to try and be a family. No, girl, they're trying to get into your pants. Up and leave.
Yeah, literally, like, every episode starts with, like, a few of the brothers kind of, like, stating, like, how much they care about her and, like, that they love her and stuff.
And then she just continuously, stupidly, like, says...
She always just ends it with, of course we love each other. We're family.
It's literally her response every fucking time. And it's like, no, girl, they're trying to get into your pants. No. Just no. And, like, a lot of the scenarios are, like, really awkward. And, like, watching this, I'm just like, no. Like, you obviously look very uncomfortable while this stuff is happening to you. You don't do anything about it. But at the same time, you're like, I should probably tell them. No, girl, move out. If you're not going to tell them, move out. Like, eventually, like, she doesn't even really confront them. That's what pisses me off. Is that a lot of them deserve a confrontation. Especially Futo.
They deserve a slap in the face.
Especially Futo.
Well, he deserves a punch in the face.
Facts. But you know what I mean? It's like, you don't do anything. Like, why are you in... Like, put yourself in that situation. You're obviously uncomfortable. You don't like them that way. But you're not making an effort to tell them anything. And if that's how you feel, move out. But then she always gives that fucking excuse. I don't want to be a burden on anyone. I don't want to call dad. And I'm like, girl, that's how accidents happen. That's how situations happen.
I guess it's
like,
why didn't you tell your parents?
Yeah.
Right, like, why aren't you telling your parents? Like, Jesus.
Why aren't you telling your stepmom, like, hey, can you, like, tell your sons to leave me alone? I'm sure they'd listen to their mom.
Like,
should never have been adapted. Like, it was like, there's so many red flags. There's so many throughout this entire anime.
I mean, I feel like that's the thing, right? It's like, it came out at a time where, like, that kind of stuff, I don't think people were as bothered by something like that because it's it's a game, it's an anime, like, it's not real. Even though, I mean, you wouldn't believe how many weird cases, like, incestual kind of things, even between, like, step siblings, like, that, that stuff happens. Like,
it's a common trope.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's a common trope. I mean, again,
it's a common thing.
I'm pretty sure it's the step siblings, stepfather, step parent, step family. That's like a very popular category on the prawns.
Like, the most recent step sibling thing I can think of that has an anime is Domestic Girlfriend.
Ew,
and that one has a teacher.
Ew, there's a step sibling thing in that? Ugh.
But yeah, he gets with both of the siblings.
What the fuck?
And he has... Basically, he gets with both of the siblings. One's a teacher. They find out because, reasons they find out at school, so she gets fired. And then he gets the other sister pregnant.
What the hell is this show? Are we gonna have to watch this? Are we gonna have to do an episode on Domestic Girlfriend?
It's pretty much a dumpster fire.
Oh my god, now we have to do an episode on Domestic Girlfriend.
Oh no, I can only handle one. I can only handle one this month. No, I'm sorry.
We won't do it next. We'll space it out. We'll do it in, a year or some shit.
Bless. I lost too many brain cells watching this anime. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had to, like, pause and just, like, again, like, I'm not saying that.
Like, if you guys watch any of Guguk's video on it, that's all you need to know.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Of course.
It's really weird. And what makes it worse is that they basically have sex. So yeah.
Yeah,
I died a little inside.
I lost like 2 years of my life hearing that.
Yeah. That's the most recent one that I can think of right now.
Well, I mean, and even just sometimes in just other anime, like with just actual blood siblings, like there's weird shit
like
going
manga
on.
wise, there's also like Love Me Not. It's also another step sibling thing, and I think this one's new, which is Mint Chocolate is also another step sibling thing.
Jesus Christ, man.
So clearly Japan really loves the step sibling thing.
I'm sure that's I'm sure that's the one of the top prawn categories that they really like. I mean,
it's not
again,
step siblings. It's the adult with the underage kid in high school.
Yeah. No.
And there's a lot of those.
I mean,
let me tell you.
Again, this is why I keep making the "what are you doing, step bro" like joke, because that's literally the whole show. It's literally like the plot of like a video like that without the like sex at the end. It's like the beginning of like a porn video where it's like, oh, what are you doing? But we're step siblings, like, you know. But except that's the whole show. It's just like the tension of like that, without like the payoff, I guess.
Yeah, because that's it. That's the whole show.
I mean, like a lot of every time I would pause, I'd either say that or I would just be going, bleh, bleh, like just because it's so gross. Especially once they introduce like Fudo into the mix, I'm like, oh my god, I want to like puke.
I had to keep pausing like when they got Futo in. I was like, no, this dude should be reported. Just
yeah. I feel like he does the worst of it. Like the worst thing that happened in this show is when he's like unbuttoning her shirt, and it's really that's gross.
Yeah, that one was.
That's probably.
And then not to mention how he almost like semi did the same thing to her at the freaking school festival.
Yeah. When
he was like up on her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that. Like that's the worst that happened to her.
Like he didn't care. Like the whole time he's like telling her, "I don't really care."
Yeah.
What you feel in this situation? I'm like, that.
Very possessive and
I'm like, dude, if people find out that that's what you're doing, like you're gonna lose your career. Please stop.
Right? Like
honestly, yes, he should lose his career.
Which is why it's hilarious in the fucking Christmas OVA when he's like in the elevator with her, and then like they get their picture taken because he's gonna kiss her, and like he basically, I was like, yes, Hikaru, like like beat his ass, show him what's what, tell him off, because he's like, oh, I wonder how much a picture like this would sell, and he like
fucking creeper.
Which again, we gotta talk about the OVAs, which like. So there's 3 OVAs. Well, there's like episode like 12.5 and then 2 OVAs. So 12.5 is like an episode where they have like they find a magic lamp. And like it's not all of them, it's only some of the brothers and Emma, and they like make wishes.
It's like silly episodes.
Yeah, it's like a dumb episode. Yeah, it's like they're dumb episodes. But the magic wish one is like kind of weird cuz like one, they only get 3 wishes, like between all of them there's only 3 wishes. So Yusuke wastes one on wishing for a steak, and then I think Subaru is the one who wants water, and so then they only have 1 wish left, and then you get to see like what they all kind of want to use their wish on. And of course, they're all different scenarios in which they basically tell Emma like, you are the only one for me. You should choose me. And then like at the end, because like she like turns off the TV, and then it's like, so did they see all of that on the TV? Did she see all of what they were wishing, what they wanted? because that's really creepy. But then it turns out she's just dreaming.
I'm gonna say, yeah, like she was dreaming at the end, so she was like, oh well. I'm like, no.
It was a weird dream, yeah. And even then, like, Fudo's wish was like, that was creepy. Because he's like on a bed in a robe and he's like, come here. And he gets on top of her. And again, it's like, please stop. I need an adult. I hate this. And then we have there's a Christmas episode and a Valentine's Day episode. I actually quite liked both the Christmas and Valentine's Day episodes because I feel like it's not like the main story. So you can kind of like, not really take it seriously.
Yeah, you can just enjoy it at face value. It has no like overall meaning. It's just kind of like, this is the holiday episode if we had a holiday episode.
Yeah, so like
don't take it serious.
Yeah, it's like the Christmas one, they go to like a ski resort and she's like learning how to snowboard and like Yusuke wants to teach her and it's very like wholesome, like he's I want to teach you how to snowboard and stuff. But then of course like some of the older brothers are like kind of like giving him shit.
I know, right? They're like coming in and like, yeah bro, let's do this, and it's like, dude, he's literally trying to have like a nice moment that isn't creepy.
Yeah, like he's just legit trying to like spend time with her and teach her how to snowboard.
Yeah, and everyone else is like coming in like, no dude, shut up.
And Kaname comes in and is like, come on, let's go, come on, Yusuke, and he brings him out of there just so Natsume can have a moment with her.
What kind of bullshit was that?
Yeah, it was like, I'm like, what the hell? And then later on, like, they pull like a boys over flowers kind of thing where she almost fucking straight up like dies in the snow.
Oh my god.
She gets like stuck, like she gets lost while they're snowboarding, and yeah, it's like boys over flowers, so she like almost fucking dies. Except they did not go into a separate cabin and warm each other up or anything. Like she gets saved and they bring her back. And then there's like fireworks at the end, and Fudo's a creep at the end, and then they're like fuck off, and he leaves. And then they enjoy fireworks. And that's the OVA, the Christmas one. The Valentine's Day one is fucking hilarious. Because and again, it's only certain brothers are in each of the OVAs. So, like, the brothers that are in the Christmas one are not in the Valentine's Day one, and vice versa. So, the Valentine's Day one, the ones that are there, they decide, like, oh, we should, like, make her chocolate and, like, have her pick which one. And whoever's chocolate she picks, like, that's who is the best. Like, I have dibs on her or whatever, which is...
Oh, yeah, that stupid fucking competition they started about the fucking chocolate. That was so dumb.
Yeah. So, like, they're all making chocolate individually, and then, like, you get to see, like, their weird fantasies about giving her the chocolate. Not all of them, just some of them.
Yeah, not all of the brothers get, like, a fantasy sequence. Only, like, some of them do.
So, like, Tsubaki, his fantasy of giving her chocolate is he makes a chocolate, like, thing of himself. And he gives it to her, like, in his room, and then immediately he's, like, wrapped up in ribbon and nothing else. And he's like, now you can unwrap me as your present.
Why is it always that scenario?
I don't know.
I don't get it. Maybe it's just, like, a popular fantasy some people have. Like, bro, what is it with people in the ribbons?
I don't know, but then at the end, like, she's also in the ribbons, so they're both naked under these ribbons, and then it ends because he wakes up because it's like a dream. And then we have Azusa's, he has one too, and she's like sitting in like the bath, naked obviously, but it's like a chocolate bath. It's
type of chocolate,
it's like brown water,
thing.
And it looks really gross. I'm like, why would you sit in that? But he comes in full ass naked. I mean, you don't see anything, but you can just tell he doesn't even have a towel because he just like walks in and like gets behind her in the water. And like, starts like touching up on her and shit. And then he like kisses her like on the back of the neck, and it's like very like sensual. And I'm like, she's like 16 or 17. Please stop. And then he wakes up because his glasses fog over because haha funny. And then he realizes, oh, I fell asleep while I was stirring my chocolate. And then we have the lawyer. he also makes chocolate for her, but he puts a lot of alcohol in his. It's like a brandy truffle chocolate thing. And he imagines like he's giving her the chocolate, and then she like faints a little bit because like he put like a fuck ton of alcohol in it. Because, you know, she's like a minor.
That part of the OVA made no sense. I was like, bro, you know she's a minor and she can't consume alcohol, so why are you like putting so much in the chocolate?
Like he just like, I'm like, you trying to get this bitch drunk? And then at the end of the fantasy, she's like, oh, I forgive you. Like, and then they, you know, kiss or whatever. And then he wakes from his fantasy, and he's basically poured a whole fucking bottle of fucking brandy into the chocolate.
Oh, hell no. I was gonna get someone messed up.
And then, and then the fucking baby child says one of my favorite fucking lines from this stupid episode. I wrote it down because it was hilarious. So like he's standing next to him while he's pouring this alcohol in there, and he goes like, "That's super grody, Ukyo. Your chocolate smells like a hobo."
God.
Like that's what he says in the dub. Your chocolate smells like a hobo. Which is that's really fucked up. But yeah, what the hell? And then we have the best fantasy, which is Subaru. He makes a chocolate basketball because of course he did, because basketball is his personality. Basketball is his only personality trait.
It is.
So his fantasy is like he tosses it to her and she catches it, which I'm like, that's really gross. Like, two people's hands have touched this chocolate. And then he just, like, confesses to her in the fantasy, and then they kiss at the end, and then the chocolate basketball is rolling on the ground, which I'm like, now you can't eat it because it's on the ground outside. And then she comes downstairs and basically, like, what happens at the end is the squirrel gets jealous, and he gets mad because he wants chocolate, and he wants to be, like, her only Valentine and shit. So he sabotages everyone's chocolate, so they all, like, fuck it up. And it gets messed up. Except the basketball. So then he's like, oh, okay, cool. Like, they're all like, oh, damn it, he's gonna win. Because his is the only one that's complete. And so she goes down there and he says, like, I guess he planned on, like, trying to say something smooth when he's giving it to her, but this is what he says. He says, this is my ball of chocolate love, and I'm gonna shoot it at you.
Oh, God.
And then, like, the chocolate has melted because it's, like, you know, he's holding it, and he's, like, nervous, and it's warm. So it's, like, all fucked up. It doesn't even look like a basketball anymore. And so then he says, please accept my misshapen ball. I had to write those down because I thought this was really funny. There are some funny lines in the show, which, you know, again, I give credit to, you know, at least they went, like, full on with it. You know, they knew how stupid this dumb shit was, and they ran with it. Yeah, and then Iori makes, like, flour chocolates, and then the rest of the guys eat them because they're assholes. So no one gives her chocolate, and then she gives all of them chocolate, and then they're like, oh, but she had, like, a special chocolate yesterday in her hands. Like, who's that for? I bet she wants to give it to someone privately. And then it turns out she got that chocolate for her dad. So fuck all of you. She didn't get chocolate for you at all. But yeah, those are the OVAs. Again, I think those are the best episodes because they're just silly and dumb, and, like, I don't have to take it seriously as part of the actual story.
Yeah, part of the story. It's just like, hey, it's the whatever holiday we're in. Here's an episode for the show, just for fun.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all it is. It's just don't take it any seriously.
Mm-hmm. What else? Do you guys have any other thoughts? Like, had you seen it before, or because I've seen it before, like a few years ago, I watched it because everybody.
So I knew about it
so
in
good.
passing. Like, I heard about it, and I've actually seen the gameplay,
Mm-hmm.
but I hadn't watched the anime until, like, I want to say like a few years ago, because like in 2013, I had just gotten married and I moved out to California. And I was like, I guess I wasn't watching a lot of anime. I was like watching a bunch of gameplay
Mm.
at the time of the move. So again, like I had heard of Brothers Comic, but I hadn't watched it until like recent. But again, I guess I wasn't paying attention to it until like, we were gonna do the podcast, and like I was paying attention to it now, and I was like, ugh.
Well, I'm sorry
Right.
I'm sorry this opened up old wounds.
I'm telling you, man. I'm just like, I'm watching this. I'm like, I'm telling you guys. Like, if you like the anime, like I know some people did
Yeah, I
for
mean,
like various reasons. Like, if you like it, you like it. That's we're not trashing you for liking what you like. It's just like me personally, like paying attention with the mindset that I have now. The show is very problematic in itself to me.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of things that I was uncomfortable with for various personal reasons, and like a part of me feels like if they had like done like say
They just take out Futo, maybe.
right, if they had just taken out Futo, a lot of my problems with the show wouldn't exist.
yeah, I
Like I would
agree.
just have like little comments here and there about like, I would just be making the joke like, bruh, that's your stepsister. And I'd be like joking about, but unfortunately, because Futo's there and he's literally one of the most problematic characters in that entire setup of the brothers, his scenes just made me very uncomfortable. I'm just like,
Yeah.
and it's just like, I'm just like, no, man, you're a trigger for me. I'm sorry, like I can't, like the scenes literally made me cringe just watching him, and I was like, no.
Yeah. I think I probably watched this like back when the like dub had come out in like 2016 or 2017, because I remember at that time I was like trying to like get into like as many like ultimate kind of games or like series that I could. So that was when I first watched this, and I was still kind of like, what the fuck is this? Like I'm the way I am now, which I'm just like, why does this exist? Why did they do this? Which again, I mean, I get it. It's different, like people see things in a different way. Like again, the first ever thing of Brothers Conflict came out all the way back in like 2010. I mean that doesn't excuse what happens in it, by no means. But like,
Anime got away with a lot of stuff in the early 2000s than it does now.
Yeah, like what's acceptable now isn't usually like what's unacceptable now usually, even like at the beginning of the 2010s, like 10 11 years ago is like kind of like, what the fuck were we thinking kind of thing now. But I mean, I guess the good things about it, again, I like the music, I like the songs, I like the voice actors for the most part. Like I like, I enjoy most of their work and stuff, but like, why the fuck? Why? Like, it's just, I feel like this is one of those like niche shows that like, if you know about it, you know about it, and if you don't want to know about a show like this, you don't have to learn about it. Like, don't watch it.
You don't, like
it's
like, it's not your thing, it's not your thing.
There's much better series based off of Ultimate games than this. I mean, I don't like Diabolic Lovers either, but at least she's like, not their stepsister.
It's the only positive she has.
Yeah, I mean, because the main girl in Diabolic Lovers is like, she's literally just a bag of flesh, basically, and blood. She has zero personality. At least Emma's a gamer girl. At least she likes something.
She likes something. And, she's good at chores and whatever.
Yeah. She's good at doing stereotypical women's work.
I was gonna say, yeah, she's a stereotypical teenage housewife, but she games. That's literally the personality that they gave her. That she cooked, obviously, because she doesn't have her adoptive father with her a lot of the time, so she's cooking for herself, cleaning, doing the household work and stuff. So I think she even says like the first few episodes, she's like, "Oh, but I like cooking," and I'm like, "Okay, well, don't take us back to the 50s, Jesus."
I know. I'm like, you can ask them to like help you. Damn. Now you got all these boys to help you with shit. I would take advantage of that.
You're cooking for like 10 plus people at any given time. Like, nah, girl.
Use their attraction to you for your benefit. Use their attraction, like, well, you know, if you like me, do my laundry. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Don't take advantage of people because they like you. And what about you, Chantal? Had you seen this before, or is this the first time you've watched it?
This is the first time.
The first and only time.
First and best time.
I know. I can't believe I sat through this twice now.
Funny enough, like back in the day, they used to recommend this one a lot to watch. So I had heard about it, but I didn't know what exactly it was about until like I met Mia and she explained everything to me. And I was like, why the fuck are people recommending this?
Because they like the taboo. I'm not saying I do, because I don't. But, you know, I guess it makes it more interesting to an extent for some people. Because it's, you know, it's not something that a lot of people, like, do. Like, you know, maybe there's some weirdos out there that, like, have thought about it and they just don't act upon it. Or, you know, I don't want to go into that. But, you know what I mean? Like, I guess also because, like, at the end of the day, it is just another series with, like, pretty boys in it. Which, like, you know, I always enjoy shows like that. Hey, it's got pretty anime boys. Sure, I'll watch it. I'll take a look. They're hot? Okay, yeah, you got me sold. But then you actually watch it and it's kind of like, because that's how that's how I was with, like, a show like Diabolik Lovers. Like, oh yeah, they're all pretty hot. And then I hated every single character. Because I thought they were, just too evil or annoying. Or boring. I mean, at least with Brothers Conflicts, like, I feel like it has pros and cons, because I like certain characters, like, I have no problem with them, but then other characters, I hate their entire existence. And then I like the character designs for the most part. I think some of them are hella stupid. I like the music and stuff. But, yeah. That's pretty much all the pros, and everything else is a con.
Yeah, there's, like, I don't know, man, like, watching I know that there was some people when I posted that we were doing the episode on TikTok, a lot of people were like, I wasn't paying attention to the plot at the first time I saw it. I liked the character design, so I watched the show, and I didn't think anything of it until, like, I was actually paying attention to it, and I was like, eek. But I'm like, again, I can't fault people for that, because again, it's for the same reason, right? At the time, you're like, I want to watch something. Oh, look, the characters look clean, whatever. The animation looks nice at the time. And then all of a sudden you're like, well, I'm just going to watch this. And you don't think nothing of it. But after, like, a rewatch, you're like, oof, no.
I mean, if all they have to do is just change the fact that they're step siblings. Like, don't make her their stepsister or their sister or related to them. And then it would be fine. It'd be better. I mean, you know, I would still probably fucking hate Fudo and stuff, but, like, at least it wouldn't be the sister or stepsister.
They just need to erase Fudo out of existence, man.
If I could improve it, I would get rid of him and the baby child. Like, don't make him part of the fucking why. And then, like, just make her not their sister. Like, just maybe the mom is letting her stay at their apartment because she's got no place to go.
Like, it could have been, like, they could have just told the same story just without the step sibling. It would have still been the same.
Yeah, it would still be brothers conflict because they're all brothers fighting for this one girl. But then it wouldn't be creepy. Okay, so, alright, if you had to choose, like, you can't say none of them. If you had to choose, who would you want her to end up with? Like, if they weren't step siblings, who would you want her to get with the most out of all of them? Just because he has a crush on her and he...
Yeah. This makes the most sense, because everyone else liked her because, oh, she's our stepsister.
Yeah, she joined the family.
Let's be truthful. They all start liking her because it's like, oh, there's finally a girl in our house. She's
With the
only
exception of Yusuke, who
she's-
didn't do that.
She's the only girl in a 45-mile radius to all of us at the same time. Yeah, she could be any girl. Again, if the concept was if the mom just had let some girl live in their house, like, yeah, they all would have just, again, felt the same way, regardless of whether she's their stepsister or not. Like, what if she was just a person taken in from the streets?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they all would, be like, oh, she's a girl and she wears a skirt. Boobies? Okay, yeah, we'll all like her. Because boys. Yeah, I agree. I think in terms of who she should end up with if they were not step siblings, it'd be Yusuke. It makes the most sense. He's like, again, like I said, he would be the protagonist in any other kind of show because he just looks like a protagonist. I guess I wouldn't mind her with any of the brothers that are like around the same age as her, minus Fudo.
I was gonna say, nah, she
Yeah.
doesn't need that dude, nah.
Like, if she got with the Iori or Subaru, I'm like, okay, I'm fine with that. They're nice. But anyone over, like, 20, like, any of the ones that are older than, like, Subaru, no thank you. I don't want her to date a 25-year-old man.
Mm-hmm.
Or a 31-year-old man. No thank you. That he's old enough to, like, be her dad, basically, if he was, like, a 15-year-old dad. Like, if he had, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's creepy.
Yeah.
It'd be less creepy if she was, like, in her 20s or something and he's, like, in his 40s. Like, okay, it's not weird. It's only weird because she's, like, a minor. She's still in high school. She hasn't lived her life yet. But, okay, if you guys had to pick a favorite character, who would you pick? I think we all know who our least favorite character is. We all agree on that.
Yeah. For me, it would probably be Azusa.
Oh, interesting choice. Why'd you pick him?
I just really liked him the most. Oddly enough, I don't know if it's because of the freaking sexual voice. It was just really calming and just it was very nice. But I really ended up liking him the most.
Yeah, again, out of the triplets, like, he's the least forceful on her. Like, he does confess his feelings for her, but he's like,
Yeah.
He's not as aggressive as
Yeah.
the other two.
yeah, because both Tsubaki and Natsume, like, just kiss her, and it's like, okay, well,
Natsume is like just the Kyo lookalike. Like when they first introduced him, that's all I kept thinking. I was like, oh, what's Kyo doing here?
I can see that. What about you, Dani? Who's your favorite?
So it's kind of like, okay. So it's a toss-up between Yusuke and Louis, but I think I like Louis more.
Okay, why did you pick Louis?
Because he's fucking normal.
He's the most normal out of all of them. He doesn't have a weird crush on his stepsister.
That's like only reason. So like,
Well, also, honestly, I feel like out of, like, what would make the most sense if, like, if they're still step siblings, go with him because he's not actually related, like, biologically to anybody.
like he just makes sense to me. Like, one,
So,
he respects her decision. Like, he doesn't really like. He's one of the ones that really doesn't treat her like, oh, you're a woman entering my family's home. I can make moves on you, this, that, and the other. He's respectful to her. He doesn't really push, like, any type of... He's not doing any unwanted advances to her. He's talking to her like a person, actually getting to know her. It's very obvious that she does enjoy the time that she spends with him. Like,
Yeah.
she's very relaxed with him. Like, if I feel like if there was any type of development between them... Like, there is, like, he has a route, obviously, in the game. But, like, if the anime went that way, I wouldn't be as, like, ew, dude, that's your stepbrother. Like, no, it's kind of different. Like, he's, like, I know, like, it's probably going to come up somewhere, like, well, he's still family, he's adopted, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, I understand that. But if
it's
was...
less creepy if it was him, because, like I said, he's not biologically related to anybody because he's also adopted. So, like, yeah, he doesn't have the he even mentions it. He's like, they have like these weird quirks that each other like they share.
Oh yeah,
quirks.
he's talking to her about the adoption. He's like, I noticed that their quirks aren't mine. Like they have little ways they do things. I don't do it the same way they do.
Because they're
blood related, and he's adopted.
So like, I feel like like if she's gonna end up with anybody, if we still have to go with like, oh, she's their stepsister, like get with him because he's not actually like biologically related to this.
But he's who I had to pick if I had to pick a guy.
Is your favorite?
He's my favorite.
Your favorite, okay.
The least problematic out of all of them.
I don't know. I'm trying to think who would I pick? Who did I like? Like who would my favorite be? Like just in terms of just like characters. I guess I would have to say, I guess it's a tie. My favorite would probably be like Iori or Kaname, because they were nice. Like they were respectful. I mean, Kaname did kind of flirt with her, but I don't know. He's one of the more normal looking dudes, and yeah, he was chill. And Iori also, like, we barely saw him, and he was nice for the most part.
Yeah, his interactions with her were like pretty mellow. It wasn't like where you're like, no, dude, stop. It's kind of like, oh, okay, what's up?
I'm sure if I played the game, that would be vastly different. Because, you know, I like what I described, what it says, you know, they have a bunch of, you know, drama and shit. But in terms of the anime, like, I liked them the most. Everyone else was okay, except Fudo. I hated him. Trying to think what else could we talk about before we get to the questions here, and before maybe Dani, if you want to read some TikTok comments.
Let me see if I still have them, because like they were I agree with like a lot of what people were saying, right? It's kind of like, again, a lot of people talked about.
I just want to hear what people are saying so we can kind of like comment on that, because we've never you know, added TikTok comments in here, so I think that was a really good idea to share that we're talking about it, and then, you know, just kind of read what people are thinking.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull it up. Going through like the comments and stuff, so like what I'm looking at is just like everyone's kind of saying, you know, the same thing, is that this one is like, hold on, let me see. So this one was from somebody on TikTok going like, okay, as a kid, I didn't know any better, so I dead ass was in love with the show and watched it 3 times. Now that I'm older, it was a bad show.
3 times, damn. They like, again, this person got like 3 lobotomies, basically. That's the equivalent.
And then of course someone was like, made this comment like, this don't need to resurface. I'm like, agree.
Too bad we're making it resurface.
And then someone made this comment, just had me rolling. It was like, I had the audacity to like this when I first started watching anime.
Oh jeez.
Oh no. Imagine if this was your first anime. I could never. I would never recommend this to someone as their first anime unless I did not
I know,
like the
this
person.
I would not. I'm so sorry. And then of course, you know, this one was actually one of the normal ones. It was like, I give props to their mom. How do you have only sons and they're all successful?
I mean, I don't know about that. I don't know if they're all successful.
Well, yeah, with the exception of the youngest, but they have like good careers. You know what I mean? Like they're financially okay, as I think what this person is saying. Some were surprised that this is based off a game.
Yeah, and I think that's because the games have never been localized. I don't think the novels have been localized either into English.
No,
so
they haven't.
Really all people know of this is the anime because it got licensed. So,
and for the record, like the game isn't licensed over here. It's a PSP game exclusive to Japan. We didn't get it here.
I mean, I don't know if I'd want to play it anyway if it did get localized. Maybe, I mean, if it ever did, that'd be kind of fun, you know, do a playthrough of that, but I don't think it would sell very well if that makes, you know, like...
Yeah.
They only localize
those
games
are
like that if they know it's gonna, like, sell, or maybe if whatever company licenses them, like, you know, raises enough money to get the licensing for it, and if they're allowed to get licensing for it.
But yeah, those are some of the comments, and of course other people were voicing that, you know, when they were watching it at first, they mistook the type of love that Emma was getting. Well, to this person's defense, that the comment on TikTok was that she was in middle school at the time.
Right. Yeah, I can see why if you could mistake it for that. But like, no, the first time I watched this, I was like I was in college when I first watched this.
But of course, she made the comment of like, now that I'm older, I realize that it's a fucked up type of love. It's not love. What they have, like, it's not that type of love that they have for her. But those were some of the comments on the TikTok.
Those are some good. I think we should definitely bring those into. If you do, the next time, if you do make a TikTok promoting that we're gonna talk about it and people do comment, I do want to hear some comments and react to those. All right, so we did get some questions. We got questions from Dylan, our amazing friend who we love. And he was really excited that we're doing Brothers Conflict. So Dylan's comments or his questions are pretty funny. So his first question is, who do you like most with the protagonist? Which we kind of already answered.
Yeah.
To that.
Which I agree. I think in terms of like, out of the brothers, I would be okay with her going out with like Yusuke, Iori, Subaru, and Louis, I guess. Anyone else? No. His next question is, which boy has the best hairstyle?
Louis' hair.
Yeah. Definitely Louis. I mean, he is a hairstylist, so I mean, it would be weird if he didn't have the best hairstyle.
He didn't have a good style, and he was a hairstylist. I actually like his little side ponytail. He's like, he just has his locks flowing. It's really cute.
Mm-hmm.
I think his hair's alright. I know the worst hairstyle is fucking Yusuke. God, fuck.
Yeah.
Why don't you get your brother to style your hair for you? He'd make it look better.
Probably offered, but Yusuke probably turned him down. It's like, fuck no.
In terms of best hair, I don't know, whoever has the most normal looking hair. In terms of the style, the color doesn't really matter to me. I just know that Yusuke's is the worst. Everyone else's is fine. Even the baby child has like cute hair, I guess. And I referred to him as the baby child because he's a 10-year-old. And then his third question is, did the show make you more scared of squirrels? Well, I've never been scared of squirrels.
I'm scared of whatever imaginary squirrel that thing is.
It didn't make me scared of them. I'll just enjoy squirrels from afar. I don't want to like start talking to one and have it like kind of try to be my little Jiminy Cricket.
Right? Like, nah, I'm cool with the squirrel that posts up in my yard, but we ain't that cool.
I like squirrels, but yeah, I don't know if I like this squirrel in particular. Any more thoughts? You guys have any more closing thoughts? Would you recommend this show to anyone?
I'll save you the trouble. Hell no.
I say
it depends.
Right? I feel like
if you want to watch some trash, then go ahead.
If you want to watch like a hot garbage dumpster fire without having to go outside and find one, just watch Brothers Conflict. You can watch it on Hulu. And you can also watch it on, well, now it's Crunchyroll. But I was still using the Funimation app, and it still says Funimation, but like inside the app it says Crunchyroll. So I don't know if they're just gonna merge it onto like just the Crunchyroll app, or if we like, I don't know how that's gonna work.
Oh, what's happening? So as far as to my understanding that I was reading at is that Funimation is no longer like, you can still stream and stuff, but the thing is that no new episodes will air on Funimation. Is that whatever they had on their bracket to air is gonna air, but after that it's all Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
But like, do I have to cancel my Funimation account?
I want to watch new episodes
and just use Crunchyroll?
It depends on what you're watching right now.
That's true, yeah, because not all. So like for anybody who's, still has their Funimation account, not the entire library has not been imported over from Crunchyroll. They're doing it in like portions.
Yeah.
So like some of their stuff is dubbed, and of course they do have the sub for some of the animes, but again, not the full collection is not there yet. So it is a gradual move, not like oh hey, the whole Funimation library is added to Crunchyroll. No, it's
sure
going in steps.
I guess at some point down the line, yeah, they'll probably discontinue the Funimation app. They'll probably stop updating it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just have to use Crunchyroll, which, I mean, I'm fine with that. I don't really care. As long as the rate, like the pay rate, as long as it makes sense to me in terms of like how much I'm paying a month, I really don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Because I use both pretty frequently. I use Hulu too because certain stuff I cannot find on Crunchyroll anymore.
Same. I still have Hulu for anime because there's just some stuff that isn't on there.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, yeah, if you want to watch a trashy, dumb show, like, just kind of, like, pass the time, watch Brothers Conflict. I mean, it's, like, there's funny parts. Like, it's not terribly bad. Like, I just think the concept, it's, like the concept and...
I mean, the anime itself gives you small entertainment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, like,
yeah.
nah.
And I'd recommend it in both English and Japanese. You know? You get some good performances. Like, nobody, like, there's nothing, like, inherently bad about any of the performances or anything like that. Like, nobody sounds, like, miscast, I guess. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't recommend you watch it more than once. Unless you get into it for some reason. Which, again, I'm not judging anybody who does like it. You know, you can like it. That's fine. If we roasted your if Fudo is your favorite brother, I would I am judging you. I would seriously say like you need to talk to somebody.
We're judging you silently and not so silently.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got problems. He needs to talk to a therapist or something.
For real.
But I guess that's all we got to say about Brothers Conflict or BroCon. Well, thank you guys for joining me once again. I appreciate it. You know, it's always fun to get together and chat and talk about dumb shit together.
Yeah.
I really missed it. I missed it a lot.
Me too.
Same.
We all have TikTok accounts. So go follow us. I'll put all that in the description. Chantal and I have each have our own individual YouTube channels as well. And you can also follow all of us on Twitter. And you can follow the podcast on Twitter as well. So, you know, you look for updates on what we're going to do moving forward. So does anyone have any ideas about what we should do for the next episode?
I'm not really sure. So I actually started... So me and my husband had a conversation. He asked me about... he's like, why is anime always in high school? We never see them go to college. And I'm like, that's not true. I'm like, Honey and Clover did the college thing, but it's a specific college. So it's not like some random, like the way we do here kind of thing. I know we had that conversation, me and him. Because he was surprised. He's like, I don't see a lot of anime like that. I'm like, yeah, you don't. You usually don't. You just gotta find it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I ended up rewatching, what did I just finish rewatching? There was another anime that I saw that I kind of just went through. But I started rewatching Honey and Clover. Because I remember reading it when it was in, I don't know, not yet in press. It was something else. But I used to read it all the time, and then they stopped sterilizing it, and I can't remember what the magazine was called.
That's an option. Chantal, do you got anything that you want to suggest? I know the last time we said we were going to watch Free and then we didn't do it. So that's still on the table unless you don't want to watch that.
I don't think I can go through with it. I tried. I gave it the college try, and I'm like, I'm going to try and watch this. You know, my friends have been recommending this to me. Everyone's like, you should watch it, this, that, and the other. And like, when I tried, I'm like, no. I can't do it. And it's not for like any weird reasons, you guys. It's kind of like when I watch anime, like you gotta draw me in. Like even if it's a slow anime, there's a slow build type of anime, I usually can get drawn in. But like I never really cared for swimming as a sport. Like when I see Summer Olympics, like swimming's like the least. Like to me, it's like the one of the least. Yeah, it's not. It's like the least exciting thing out of the Summer Olympics. So I never really like enjoyed it. And even in anime form, it's kind of the same thing. Like, I get it. You guys are into it. Whatever. They're high schoolers. Like, this is your passion, and you can be passionate about that by all means. But I'm like, me watching as like a bystander and like just going through the anime, I'm just like, I have no interest. Like it's like it just didn't appeal to me, so like I couldn't bring myself to like continue watching it.
Yeah, to be fair, guys, like yeah, Danny, I remember you being like, guys, I can't do it.
I know, I've told them multiple times when they ask, like we have like our
I
own little
mean-
group chat that
I
we're in,
mean-
and like they'll ask me and like, have you done it? And I'm like, kinda.
I mean, have you watched 50% Off?
No.
That's the abridged version of Free.
No, I haven't. I know it's there because I remember like seeing that shit on YouTube.
Maybe try to watch that. I want to know your opinion on that. Maybe that would make you more interested. I don't know. I like 50% Off.
Oh, that's what I was rewatching. I was rewatching My Next Life as a Villainess. I was going through the first season.
Oh, okay.
So I wanted to.
I haven't watched that, so that's also. I mean, that's.
I think you'd like it. It's a pretty quick.
It's like that. It's like that. It's like that Comic Festa one that's going on right now, except without the sexy times, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of options.
Yeah,
Especially
I'm
since
down
it's
for
getting.
that.
Especially since they're actually getting a game out of it now.
Oh, cool.
I thought
okay.
I did have a game.
No. So are you talking about the pirate one, the arc that they're gonna do? Because that one. So originally,
I know it has a game, but I don't know.
No. They're making that into a game. It's the so because originally it was a novel first, and then of course it became something else. But the last thing it is a game, believe it or not. So it's actually finally becoming a game. It's like so they're gonna turn it into a movie, but originally they wanted it to be a game first. So the next arc is something about pirates or something like that. I remember they made that announcement where it was going to be a game for the Switch or something like that. That's the last I heard of that though, and that was after season 2 ended.
Suggestions?
Since April's coming soon, Sasaki and Miyano should be over by then.
Okay,
I love them so much.
I haven't watched
cute.
that either.
Cute.
I love it.
Yeah,
Has you punching the air.
We can definitely talk about that. Yeah, I think we have some pretty good options. So, I mean, whatever you guys want to really talk about first, we can do that next. Thank you guys once again for joining us here on the Q for You podcast. I hope you add, well, I don't know if I hope you add Brothers Conflict to your queue, but if you do, good for you. That all rhymed. And if not, well, you're not really missing out on a lot. But again, don't take anything we said as offense. If you really like this show, I mean, that's really cool. Obviously, I'm glad you could enjoy things that maybe that we didn't really enjoy. Unless it was like problematic stuff, then no. But I hope this was at least a fun listen for you guys, and yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Again, look at the Twitter. We'll give you guys info on what we're gonna be doing next, so you guys can ask questions. And again, I hope you guys leave questions and comments in the comments down below, so we can kind of see what you guys think. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. So we'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.